emotions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Prescott off play action. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Off the play fake. Trask out to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, Trask. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. On the give, this is Harris. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
On 3rd and 1, here's Trask. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off at the 36. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now a dump off here complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. This one complete to Scott Miller. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Play action now. Prescott.
Finding Miller once more, complete.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
They'll run right here with Swift.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. We're scoreless after 1.
1st and goal from just inside the 5.
Prescott to throw it. And it's caught. Touchdown. Marquise Brown. His 4th touchdown on the year. As his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So now they have to pass. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Josh Allen. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. after the sack. They'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That is caught by Lamb.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
And that's a much-needed completion right there on 3rd down. Really a sigh of relief, isn't it? They're backed up deep. You know they don't want to give the ball back to the other guys with great field position. They needed that throw, that completion, that 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Harris.
Jeff Gladney able to come up and make the tackle. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. On 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Here's Trask.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the... zone, not a good one.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary in that last possession, though.
Now Kaepernick, his first toss off the bench. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, He's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out at me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On play action, it's Kaepernick. His throw here is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. In trouble, and he's taken down. Patrick Queen, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Here's Jackson. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Off the play fake, Prescott. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. On 2nd down, Swift. And shedding through the tackle. And he's got room. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and all the way in for the touchdown.
The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category, and that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And the thing that stood out to me was his ability to continue through the initial contact. How many times do we see runners get slowed up and not get what they can on a run because of that first contact? But he kept the compass pointing in the right direction, kept the legs churning, and turned this into a huge play.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive
as they'll take over with just under a minute left to play until the break.
On 1st down, Kaepernick. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw, Kaepernick. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action, Kaepernick, 1st half. Here's Jamie Gillen now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. On the return, Jackson. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. On play action, Prescott. It's complete to Brown, right side. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. Rolling to his left. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
But nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Kaepernick.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Let's go deep. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
To throw is Kaepernick.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Picked off around the 37. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Dak Prescott. 28 yards.
And the Desperados take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Sly on for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Kaepernick now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Here's Jamie Gillen now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. Swift's got the first down and then some. He's at the 40. 20, 10, touchdown! DeAndre Swift with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Desperados are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And that's a 2nd touchdown run of this game, and this one, and a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. I mean, let's face it, he had a long way to go, but how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
He covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
And he's going to be picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
DeAndre Swift,
25 yards.
And the Desperados take advantage of the short field and finish it off with a quick touchdown. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that will extend this big lead.
Joey Sly now to kick off.